Well, good morning. I am getting in shape for another maybe few videos today, and I'm yelling at the camera. Hi, camera. We made a lot of progress in the last few days, so I don't know if I even have an audience yet. I have a few people who are watching the videos, I guess. Everybody said that they're pretty good, but they are very rough. And what I did last or yesterday was I got the domain for scheduleadifference.com. And it just happened to be coincidental that this was the weekend where Roe versus Wade and all of that happened, more or less yesterday. Everybody, amazing, absolutely amazing. And so what we have is we have a situation of zealots, we'll just call them zealots. And this zealot issue, at least in the USA, is becoming a real problem. Um, I'm not going to get into abortion too much, except that basically anybody with any common sense understands that that's a personal issue, and it's that simple. Um, and so here we have my map that I've been using for a few points that I've been trying to make. Um, this is the Americas, or North America. This is North America. We are in what amounts to a 3 to 10 year, um, I guess, window of opportunity or window of, you know, disopportunity. The world is not going to be the same in 3 to 10 years. And we blew it basically with electing or allowing to be put into place Trump. I guess he was elected, but it was basically one of the largest mistakes that's ever been made in human history. And what we're dealing with now is we are dealing with the dismantling at a very quick pace democracy in the United States. And it's being done again by zealots. And so I personally believe that the Republican Party is now a national security threat to the United States, as well as being um, certifiably insane. Um, and we could go, the list of reasons why the Republican Party is certifiably insane is um, we have guns, for instance. We have the stolen election myth. Um, we have issues of procreation. We have issues of personal privacy. We have the beyond the guns. It's the interest in quality of life for what amounts to um, all kinds of people, kids in school, poor people, whatever. This quality of life, they have a very bizarre, the Republican Party right now is manifesting a very bizarre attitude towards quality of life. Um, so we have the gun issue, the stolen election issue, the procreation issue, the privacy issue, all of these issues. The main thing that I'm doing with Schedule the Difference is that I basically believe that climate on Earth is kind of like the #1 issue, mostly because of I call human behavior chauvinism. Okay, and I'm going to do videos like this for a while because what you're watching me do is kind of collect together how this works. Human behavior chauvinism. Um, it's remarkable that we are so enchanted with ourselves that we ignore what amounts to the just the just what life is on Earth. I mean, or what life is, known life is anywhere actually in the universe. This is where life is happening to our knowledge. We don't really know for sure about anything else, but we do know that life on Earth is happening here, and we have this amazing human behavior chauvinism. It's like we only really pay attention to ourselves. um, which leads to this issue of quality of life, which leads directly to this issue of climate, because the climate, if you have an issue, if I draw a little picture of the Earth, right, you have the surface of the Earth, and in the known universe, life happens in this little tiny area, the crust of the Earth and the atmosphere. We might as well call that climate in the entire universe. Okay, and this climate is what we are more or less attacking with our industries. Now, I'm interested in preparing for what now is a changing climate. And I can't believe the bizarre forms of denial that people go through when I simply discuss scheduling. Okay? And I'll I'll do the scheduling thing in another video, but one of the things about the zealot situation is the issue of science. Okay? Um, I realize that it's not just the Earth that some of these zealots basically believe is 10,000 years old. They basically believe that the universe, as we know it, created by God, is 10,000 years old. Okay? That is insane. That what I'm the issue here is depth perception. If you believe that the universe is 10,000 years old, you have absolutely no concept whatsoever as to what a light year is or what the dynamics of geology, for instance, are. Okay? That's beyond you. Okay? Um, so when we're having this issue of democracy, you have to remember democracy is only useful when you discuss facts. And this is where the zealot issue and democracy and facts come to a very strange situation, which is what we're dealing with now, when we're dealing with the reality of navigating climate transformation. You might as well call it transformation. It would be very interesting. I can't see it that way, but I suppose people would see this map and they'd go, well, that's a really nice picture of a 10,000-year-old area of land, right? With 10,000-year-old at most mountains and 10,000-year, the oceans, the whole bit. And that geology, God, a lot happened in 10,000 years, didn't it? I suppose. The reason that I'm putting this up again for review is because whoever is working so hard at dismantling democracy is doing it right in the center of what could be called a very important area of the world when it comes to politics, okay? Politics and geography. And I would, I heard, I don't know for sure, that the WTO, for instance, wants to turn this area into like one kind of economic interest. They're not that interested in Mexico or Canada or the United States. They just see this area as being something that should be considered I don't know what, an economic interest. So there is some planning and some agendas from various people to throw a lot of money, which Fox News, you can't deny it, Fox News is a lot of money, throwing a lot of money at dismantling our democracy. But democracy is the only form of organized human behavior uh, that allows for a franchise to be given to people who usually were never considered as being viable participants in organized political communities. So it's here in the United States that we have young women uh, who are 18 who can vote. That's important. So when we go through our list of guns, stolen elections, procreation, privacy, quality of life, and all the rest of it, We have to remember that this franchise that we have here with the United States democracy is less than 100 years old. I don't, maybe about 100 years old, where it kind of evens out and becomes a little more reasonable. That's nothing in compared to human history. So we have to look out for the zealots, and we have to schedule a difference. And I hope that I organized my. I want to mention one more time that this funnel of the mountains, from the very cold to the very hot, with this body of water actually extending into this permafrost, and very much likely sliding around if that permafrost melts. We should probably include that in our discussion of our 10,000-year-old planet. And that's about it for now. I hope that isn't more than 10 minutes, but if it is, so it goes. And I will post this. And criticism would be appreciated. Thank you very much.